What's up, you guys? How y'all doing? So, it's finally over, at least the home season anyway. UH men's basketball finally ended on a positive note, sending out 5 seniors in style by this final score here, 78-70 over UC Davis. Now, I have to admit, I had a couple of doubts about UC Davis after the way that the road matchup went. But it looked to me like the University of Hawaii really found themselves some flashes, or at least showed some flashes of what they looked like in the beginning of conference play when they were on their 3-game win streak after dropping their first 2 conference games. I'm going to get into that a little bit, but first of all, as I give you my banner, remember, guys, subscribe. If you think that I'm worth listening to, that's good enough for me. Or if you just want to see some more of my games. And I will have one up later. And I will have one up later today. And there is my banner. UH basketball regained 7th overall with 78-70 win. And for UC Davis, that's 4 straight losses. Now, I'll tell you this. I have a couple of other things to point out here as far as the Big West tournament is concerned. Are we in yet? Not yet. We have to win one. UH has to win one more over Bakersfield or CSUN. Bakersfield seems like the safest bet. But if they pull out something over CSUN, that'll be great to take some momentum into the tournament. So anyway, guys, as far as UC Davis and senior night is concerned, let's get into this. Yes. Okay, Cal Davis. UC Davis, this is a team that UH has been kind of hot and cold against on the road matchups because in the last 5 straight road meetings, the University of Hawaii has fallen to UC Davis. That includes last year in the Big West tournament, and the ultimate dagger turned out to be then was the fact that UH could not buy a bucket in the first 7 minutes of the second half aside from free throws. In the road matchups, 2023, it was those Jekyll and Hyde games. 22, they had built a 14-point lead only to see it evaporate because of a 20-3 Davis run. And, of course, last year, UH was just no match for T.Y. Johnson and Elijah Pepper. And T.Y. Johnson was definitely the guy that I expected to have a breakout, or at least not a breakout, but at least put in his quality performances. And he did tonight, or I should say Saturday night, because he had 26. That led everybody. And who led UH in terms of scoring? It was one of the seniors, Tanner Christensen, with 17. And I have to say, though, Christensen was one of 5 guys who cracked double digits. Gytis Nemeikša also cracked double digits. Ryan Rapp cracked double digits. Tom Beattie and Akira Jacobs. Those guys had 12 and 10, respectively. Jacobs and Beattie had 10, or 12, rather. While Nemeikša and Rapp, Nemeikša had 10, and I believe Rapp had 16. But that was an overall great performance by the University of Hawaii. I was very, very encouraged because with Cody Williams on the sidelines, it looked like it was going to be another couple more weeks of just nothing but trouble for the Rainbow Warriors. But that was not the case. UC Davis, they played really well, particularly on defense. And what they did was 2 things, actually. The first one, in the first half, they executed a double trap on whichever Davis player had the ball. And I have to say, though, that if UH had done that earlier in the season, they may very well have kept CSUN in sight and perhaps gotten that win, or perhaps even gotten at least one win over UC San Diego, or at least gotten the home matchup anyway. But instead they ended up passing the ball around the perimeter and playing catch. But them's the breaks. And I was very encouraged to see UH actually do something with their defense instead of resorting to playing catch around the perimeter. And the way that they played, their aggression was back. Their intensity was back. Their passion was back. It seemed like everything was back. And it looks like that this team was reborn. So I was very encouraged by that. And for them to take some kind of momentum into their final road trip before the Big West tournament is a great sign. Let me tell you. I have to also say, though, that I was very encouraged by one other guy who didn't score double figures but made an impact in his own right. Aaron Hunkin-Clater, Wahiawa boy who gets to start with Cody Williams out indefinitely with a fractured right wrist. But you can pretty much put Cody Williams on the shelf because I don't see him playing in the Big West tournament, let alone these final two road games. But you know what? With the way that Aaron Hunkin-Clater was playing, he's been proving time and time again that his position that the point guard position is in good hands. What I would personally like to see before the season is done, even though home season is pretty much over, since Ryan Rapp has a bit of point guard experience, if Ganot puts him at the one position, he could have another Junior Madut kind of story, basically. Because Junior was really good at the point position when he was here in 2021 and 22 seasons. But still, the way that Rapp was playing, he was really good from three-point range, and so was Tanner Christensen. Actually Tanner had 2 triples, the most of anybody on UH, along with T.Y. Johnson, who also had 2 triples. But I have to say, though, Pablo Tamba on UC Davis really took me by surprise the first time around because with Elijah Pepper gone, I was wondering if T.Y. Johnson was just going to be a one-man show for their backcourt. But as it turns out, Pablo Tamba rose to the occasion. And whenever UH went up against Davis at home and at their place, Pablo Tamba didn't really put in a lot of meaningful numbers, in my opinion anyway. So I didn't really expect Tamba to be this good this time around. Tonight and Saturday night, he had, I believe, 19. But if UH goes up against Davis again in the Big West tournament, presuming they make it past the first round, they're definitely going to have their hands full if Tamba has an outstanding game and T.Y. Johnson doesn't. Then again, Johnson and Tamba, they're seniors, so they're pretty much out after this season, unless, of course, they petition the NCAA for an additional season. But still, did I predict UH is going to beat Davis at home? I did, but I just didn't know how much by. And as it turns out, we ended up winning 78-70. And for UH to come through with a win like this is not only a good performance and not only a proverbial kick in the nuts for sure. This is what the team really needed to prove that they can win without the services of Cody Williams. And they did also win over Weber State back in November without the services of Akira Jacobs. Let that little thing stick in your mind. So I would definitely give that game an A grade. UH led start to finish just about. They did not lose the lead, but Davis had only tied the score for just 34 seconds. And anytime Davis made a push, UH responded efficiently. And that was much needed. Because if Hawaii had let their runs happen, Davis would have won that game going away. No two ways about it. But UH showed a lot of heart, a lot of determination. And if they turned a corner at this point, this is the time to do it. Because the tournament's in 2 weeks. But as of right now, UH just has to win one more to guarantee their spot in the tournament. But if they don't, they're going to have to hope that Cal Poly blows a couple games, because Cal Poly has the ability to go 3-0 on these final 3 games. 2 of those games are against Cal State Fullerton and Long Beach State. And Long Beach State has had their troubles. Those are the 2 teams that UH, aside from Cal Poly, Long Beach State and Cal State Fullerton have had more than their fair share of troubles, which when you look at how UH is playing, Long Beach State and Fullerton, what we're going through right now is nothing compared to what they're going through, okay? Because Long Beach State has not won a game since January 11th, okay? They've lost their last 13 in a row, and it looked like they were going to break that streak until Jamel Jones had a buzzer beater in overtime, and Bakersfield sent Long Beach State home to losers for the 12th consecutive time. And then UH is on the bubble, and fortunately, Cal State Bakersfield had lost to Cal Poly by 26. Okay? So UH has got to be careful when they go up against Cal State Bakersfield. Are they going to turn them back? I have a feeling they will, but the start is going to tell all. And if they can keep up their aggression like what I saw from them on Saturday night, University of Hawaii has no excuse to at least split their final road trip. Can they get 2 wins? Can they get 2 wins on this final road trip and end with 3 wins in a row? I sure as hell hope so. But the start is going to be everything. And if they can do their double trap on CSUN players and Cal State Bakersfield players, then they've got no excuse to walk away with 2 dubs, or at least 1 at worst. Now, am I going to do any recaps after those games? I'll think about it, but not likely. I'm kind of glad that the home season is over in a way, considering how this year turned out. And it could have been worse, but like I said, what UH is going through is nothing compared to what Fullerton and Long Beach State are going through as of late. Okay? So we've been able to get some wins, but Fullerton and Long Beach, no, they haven't. They've been losing games left, right, and center. But for Long Beach State, this actually hurts them pretty bad, because last year Long Beach State won the Big West tournament only to get bounced in the first round of the dance. And to this day, University of Hawaii is the only team to make it past the first round. That was in 2016. No other team's done it since. Santa Barbara, Irvine, Fullerton, nobody's done it. And I don't think Cal Davis has either made it past the first round. Now, is UH going to possibly pull off an underdog story? I sure hope so. But as of right now, the odds of that happening are pretty slim. But then again, you never know. Long Beach State pulled off an unthinkable thing last year and won the tournament. So is it possible for us to win the tournament? Yes. But the odds of that happening, I think if you saw how this team performed like I did, you might have a lot of doubts about that, like I do. And you know what? Even if we don't win the tournament or make it far, it's not the end of the world for sure. It is certainly far from the end of the world because I have a lot of optimism about next season. Supposedly they've got a guy who's comparable to Roderick Bobbitt. And if UH can get the recruitment trips and find some quality guys, we can win the Big West at least one more time before we move to the Mountain West for 2026. And we're going to have to find a lot of talent because otherwise our chances of making it to the dance will probably be like the same odds as we have right now with being in the Big West because they only take the winner. So only time will tell, but I'm optimistic, and maybe this year wasn't our year, but maybe next season will. So anyway, guys, that's all for today for what is likely my final recap of UH men's basketball. So obviously, this season didn't turn out the way I'm sure that everyone was hoping for, myself included. But we got some wins, and we were able to find ourselves at least and send for the final game and send away our seniors in style. Now, what is up in the air still is if guys like Gytis Nemeikša and I think Jerome Palm will choose to come back for next season because of a waiver that was passed in January. So we'll see what happens then. Hopefully, at least Nemeikša will return because he will be a huge holdover. Jerome Palm returning, yeah, that'd be a good holdover too. Not going to lie to you. So anyway, guys, that's all for today. Go Bows. We'll see you all for 2025-26. And hopefully I'll be back at the media desk by then. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. And remember, subscribe, and I'll see you all when I go to softball. Nope.